Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, this is one I've been wanting to do for a while. I want to talk about one of my favorite genres of movies, and that is the musicals. Big musical fan, and I wanted to give my top 10 favorite musicals of all time here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, hope everybody's doing well here on a Wednesday night. Getting fairly late night now here in Kansas. Weather's been actually really good. It's actually been like just sweater weather. It's been actually pretty pleasant. Not too cold at all. Just put on a sweater and you're just fine. Or a hoodie or whatever you want. Anyways, but yeah, talking about one of my favorite genres of movies, and that is the musical. Of course, you know me, I like music, I like movies, so it kind of makes sense that musicals is one of my favorite. But ever since I was a kid, I absolutely loved musicals, and my parents loved musicals, so I would always be watching different musicals growing up. And I don't know, it's funny, musicals is one of those very polarizing genres, I feel like. A lot of times I talk to people who are big movie lovers, and they're like, I don't like musicals. They just totally diss the whole genre just because, like, I just can't get into musicals. I don't like. It seems like the common negative about it is that, or criticism about it is that they don't like that they stop and sing a song, right in the middle of the story, and then resume the story. I guess they don't like the aspect of it. I guess I love that aspect of it because sometimes the music, sometimes it can be fun, but sometimes a lot of times the music hopefully will further the plot of the movie or just give you some character growth, give insight of what the character's thinking and desiring and stuff like that. So it's actually very important to the story, the musical numbers a lot of times. And of course, I love musical scores too. So I love listening to musical scores. I love listening to musicals on, I got Fiddler on the Roof on vinyl, and I got what's it called? Jesus Christ Superstar on vinyl. So I love collecting musicals on either vinyl or CD. Listen to them all the time on Spotify. Yeah, of course, Disney did a really great number. I don't have any of my Disney movies in here, my Disney animated movies. I guess I didn't put that into the musical category. I consider those animation, though you could probably put those in the musical category as well. But I do love all of the musical Disney movies as well. These are all live action musicals, I should say, is what I'm doing today. But yeah, I love music. I love the emotions you get. I feel like you get a lot of emotions out of the music. If they hit you just right during that moment, man, it can give you a good emotional boost. Make you cry or feel, whatever emotions that you need to. And I don't know, a really good song just really lightens up the movie, elevates the movie for me. If I hear a really good number, I'm like, wow, that was such a great singing, great maybe dance choreography or whatever, whatever that is. Excuse me. To me, it makes the movie just so much better if now, obviously, a musical has to have good music. You have to a good music arranger and a good lyricist together, and have some good songs together. If music doesn't have good songs, then obviously it's not going to be a good musical. So this is my top 10 favorite musicals of all time, where I love the music. I also love the story of the movie as well. So a combination of that. Anyway, so getting into that, my number 10 favorite musical is a very famous one, and that is The Sound of Music. Won Best Picture in 1965. Yeah, 1965. And was the highest grossing movie of the 60s. I mean, it made a lot of money, hugely popular, based off of a true story. This is one I've watched since I was a kid. Always really liked this musical. Obviously, so many great, the opening shot with, Hills Are Alive with The Sound of Music. Just amazing. Of course, the Out Mountains. I was in Austria this last summer. I've been to Austria twice in my life. Love Austria. It is so beautiful. The Out Mountains, it's the most beautiful country I've ever been to. And if you want to get a taste of that, man, watch the opening shot of this movie. It'll give you how beautiful Austria is. But yeah, it goes right into that Sound of Music, or to the Hills Are Alive with Sound of Music. Great opening number, but so many famous, I think Do Re Mi is a really fun song. Um, and there, Eight of Vice is probably my favorite out here. I think it's just with acoustic guitar, it's just a very beautiful song, in my opinion. But there's, a problem like Maria is great. I love 16 Going on 17. I think it's a really cool song. Uh, what's it? I forget names of songs, but there's so many great songs, so many iconic songs in here I've always loved. And I said I went on a Sound of Music tour this last summer, and when I was in Salzburg, Austria with my mom, it was a really fun tour. I got to see a lot of the sites, so definitely going on that tour made me like this movie even more because I watch this movie now and go, oh, I've been there, I know that place, I remember all those experiences. But yeah, it's an absolute classic for a reason. And the only reason why it's number 10 on my list is because it is a little long. It's like 3 hours long, and it gets a little slow towards the end. So it kind of hurts it a little bit, but it's a very fun movie, great music. I know Mike, my friend Mike from Did You See That, which I'm wearing his merch right now, if you can't see it, but Did You See That? I know this is like his favorite musical, so, and a lot of people's favorite musical, so for good reason. Number 9 is one I don't have right now. I need to get on Blu-ray at some point, and that is Westside Story. Is my 9th pick. Another Best Picture winner, I believe 1961. It won Best Picture. Huge musical. It won like 9 Oscars or something crazy like that. It won tons of Oscars, including supporting actor and supporting actress and director, and definitely some more iconic music. I even love the opening number, the Jets and the Sharks. It's a very cool musical score, like one that's I haven't heard before, and the dance sequences are really good and different. Has this very almost Bob Fosse style to it. That's different than most musicals. But of course, it's a musical kind of based off of Romeo and Juliet. We all know, but it's 2 different gangs, like in New York, a white gang and a Puerto Rican gang, and they're battling out. But then, of course, Maria and the guy from the other, they fall in love, but they're not supposed to because they're from 2 different gangs and all that. But yeah, overall, the music's great. The America song is great. Somewhere. My favorite always been kind of Officer Crumpkey. I always love that song. It's a very funny song, very enjoyable song in the musical. But yeah, definitely one. I know this is a favorite of Norman Rad in '89. I think this is his favorite musical for good reason. It's definitely one I need to get on Blu-ray. Absolute classic, West Side Story, number 9. Number 8, another favorite of mine as a kid, actually. I absolutely loved this movie as a kid and still today, and that is Grease. It's Grease Lightning. You got John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, the late Olivia Newton-John there. Love this cover. Yeah, this is one. It's a comedy. I think it's very funny. It's a little over the top, silly sometimes, but I actually quite enjoy the over top silliness of it. But I love the setting. It's a 1950s setting, and I think overall performances are great. Especially John Travolta, I think is absolutely hilarious in this movie. Just the way he walks, he just has this funny walk about him that I'm just like, who walks like that? It's so funny. But I would say the only criticism is I think the story's pretty weak, and I don't like some of the ways men treat women in the movie. I think is not good, stuff like that. But again, I love the costumings. Of course, that's 50s costumes, the leather jackets, the girls with the skirts, the poodle skirts, whatever, and the hair. I just love all that. Love the cars. The cars are awesome. So I love the whole style of the movie. And you got, some great songs. My favorite probably is the Summer Nights. I love that song, that duet with the 2 groups going at one after another and harmonize at the end. Oh, such a great song from that. I also love Grease Lightning. It's such a fun song, and how they did that in the movies. Like I said, this is such a fun movie. The dance sequence that when they have the kind of the dance off, the dancing is phenomenal. Of course, John Travolta always known for his dancing, it seems like. But yeah, the whole dance sequence is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so many great moments. Really funny movie. Grease at number 8. Number 7, this is the oldest musical on my list, but still one I grew up on and still love today, and that is The Wizard of Oz from 1939. Obviously, grew up, this was always on TV, and I always loved it, of course. I love the Scarecrow. He was always my favorite. So funny, the physical comedy of that. And also the line. The line is amazing. He is so funny, the actor there. Um, I believe it's Burt Lars, the Lion, Ray Bolger's the Scarecrow, and Jack Haley, the Tin Man. I love those three together when they get together with Dorothy. It's actually very, I think, some funny moments in this movie. And obviously, you got probably the greatest song in movie history, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I mean, a great number. Obviously, Judy Garland, never been better. She was only like 13 or something in this movie. Iconic, that blue dress and the yellow brick road. But of course, this also, she's from Kansas, which I'm from Kansas. So obviously, how can you, if you're from the state of Kansas, like how can you not like? I meet people that are like, oh, I never watched Wizard of Oz, or I don't like Wizard of Oz. And I'm like, how could you not like Wizard of Oz? It's absolute classic. And if you're from Kansas, I mean, you gotta like it. I mean, you don't have to, but I always feel like it's part of our culture as a Kansan. And there's even a Wizard of Oz museum an hour and a half away. I haven't been to, but I plan on going there at some point, maybe doing a video. I'd love to go there and kind of see what they have. But I mean, like I said, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is great. And you have all the If I Only Had a Brain, or If I Only Had a Heart, songs are really nice. So the Courage song, the Old Witch is Dead, the Old Witch is Dead, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. I mean, yeah, so many great songs here. And I love the costuming, even though it's from 1939. I still really get into those costumes, and especially that lion costume. I think it's phenomenal. And it's from 1939. I'm so impressed by what they did there. But yeah, the costuming, even the set designs, even though it looks like a set, I love the set designs. The makeup work, everything is done really well for 1939, and it's still one I have so much fun with. It's a really well-written story. It's from a book, of course, but really well-written story and well done. Great cast. Wizard of Oz at number 7 on my list. Number 6, another favorite as a kid, and still absolutely love this movie, and that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They're the great late Gene Wilder. Absolutely one of my favorite performances of all time. One of my favorite characters of all time, Willy Wonka. And I love this Blu-ray package. I've always really enjoyed this. Got the Oompa Loompas there. Looks like the inside of candy there. I don't know, you might not think of this so much as a musical because it's a comedy, really. I mean, it's hilarious. I think it's one of the funniest movies ever made. Every time I watch it, I just laugh. And Gene Wilder is one of my favorite comedic actors of all time. He's absolutely hilarious in here. Of course, we all know the story of the kids and their guardians go into this factory, and each one does a bad thing, gets eliminated basically until you get Charlie and Grandpa. And you have all these great songs, like the Oompa Loompas have these little songs every time a kid does something bad and has to go away. But I mean, I love everything from, I've Got a Golden Ticket to even I'm a Candyman. The Candyman at the beginning is actually really good. Maybe my favorite is Gene Wilder when he does the World Imagination song where he's going down those steps and the piano's going dun 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 dun, whatever, and pure imagination, and he's singing that song. It's a beautiful song, and it's a great set. Again, love the sets. That set where everything's made out of candy, absolutely amazing. Should have won an Oscar for that. I mean, even his costuming is really, really good. And the makeup work, again, amazing. Love all that. The music is really, really good in here. Besides it being one of the funniest movies in my list, so absolute classic. Loved it since I was a kid. Still love it today. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list, another movie I don't have at the moment. I had it on DVD, but I got rid of it because I wanted to get the Blu-ray, and I haven't gotten the Blu-ray yet, and that is Phantom of the Opera. Obviously, very famous musical, Broadway musical, it's been around for a while now, and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and one of his most famous musicals that he came up with, and so many amazing songs in here. Phantom of the Opera, of course, is a story that they've made into a movie. They've made many adaptations, and then eventually came up with the musical for Broadway, and then they adapted it to the movies. And this one, I feel like it's kind of a bad rap, but I think it's absolutely amazing. I think Jules Schumacher, I think, did the movie or something like that, if I want to say something like that. Funny enough, this is a movie I actually took a girlfriend on a date back in the day when it came out. And I remember going to that musical, didn't really know anything about the music or the movie at all. And I remember after I watched that movie, I was just so blown away by the music. I thought, this is some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. And I immediately after, like the next day, I went to Walmart and bought the Phantom of the Opera film score, whatever, soundtrack on CD at Walmart because I loved it so much. And I listened to the heck out of that soundtrack. Another one I need to get at some point, but of course, the opening number, Phantom of the Opera. Music of the Night, maybe my favorite song of the whole. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful song. Past the Point of No Return, absolutely a really wonderful song. But yeah, there's so many great. It's just there's lots of songs in here. It's one of those where it seems like there's more songs than dialogue, but it works very well. I think it's maybe a little long at times, and there's some scenes that get cut out. Also, the costume. I also love Masquerade. Masquerade's maybe my favorite part of the whole movie. They sing that song and everybody's dressed up in these masquerade, these big fancy dresses and suits in this ball. Costuming's amazing. Set designs are amazing. Gerard Butler I thought was really great as the Phantom. First time I ever saw Gerard Butler in a movie. Phantom of the Opera, he really wasn't well known until then. And then after that, he's kind of blew up as a really pretty big actor. Does a lot of action, does some comedy, a little bit of this and that. Hadn't done more musicals, interesting enough. I think Jason Patrick also is in there. Emma Rossum, I think her name is, the lead. And she hadn't done, seemed like a lot else except for like TV. But anyways, overall, it's one of the first ones I remember watching where all the actors did their own singing. It seemed like that was kind of not always the case. A lot of times they would dub in singers for the actor or actress, especially back in the 60s and stuff like that. So it was nice when you got like the actors and actresses are actually the ones singing the songs. I always thought that was really cool about it. Anyways, but yeah, it's a phenomenal musical. Yeah, the songs are just amazing. Anyway, so put that number 5, The Phantom of the Opera. Number 4, movie I just bought recently on Blu-ray, and I've had it before on DVD, but I showed it on I got this on Black Friday, and this is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, back in '54. Not as well known as some of the other ones I have on my list, but I absolutely love this movie. Again, and I will admit, like, the music is maybe not as good as the dance numbers are just amazing. It's some of the best dance sequences I've ever seen in a movie. But I can't say like a lot about the music itself. It's fine. It's still pretty good in here. But like there's this one sequence. There's the two best sequences come back to back. One is the brothers. They kind of get cleaned up and they're trying to find some female mates, and they go to build a house or build a barn or something. And so they have all these different groups, building their own or anyways, and they're having a contest. But before that, they get there, and then of course all the local guys are like jealous that all the girls are kind of liking all these mountain guys coming down, these good-looking mountain men, and so they have this. So they start doing a dance, and the brothers kind of come in and take over the women that were being dancing with the other guys, and they start dancing with them. Then they come in and butt in and try to get the women back. So this is back and forth between the girls and both the guys are trying to woo them over, and so they have this dance off, and it's phenomenal. Like the different dancing, like it's very acrobatic, very athletic, very. You watch it today, and I'm impressed today. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. This is 1954. Like I don't see that kind of dancing today. Then after that, they do this whole house building thing, and they get in a fight with the guys that are jealous, and they get this huge fight, and they're fighting on top of this house or through the house. It's not built yet, but it's the beams are up and stuff, and they're fighting all through it and punching each other through different parts until the whole house falls down at the end. It's funny, but really well done. It's a really funny movie too. I think I laughed a lot in this movie, but yeah, definitely check this out if you haven't checked this out. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I'd say almost a really good hidden gem movie. Number 3 on my list, I don't have this one as well. This is The Great Showman, starring Hugh Jackman playing P.R. Bailey. What's it called? Barnum Bailey. The guy who starts a major circus, the Barnum Bailey Circus, whatever, and kind of his origin, how he started it all. And this is one I saw in the movie theater. I thought it was pretty good. And then just this last year, I watched it on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus, and I watched it, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I absolutely love this music. Story is fine. I think that's maybe the weak part. The story is not maybe the greatest necessarily, and the performances are are fine and everything. But it really comes down to the music. It's some of the best music I've ever heard in the musical. Obviously, there's the big Oscar-nominated song. I don't think it won, but it should have. This Is Me. This Is Me. The whole sequence is absolutely amazing. The singer that sings it, oh, such an amazing voice, and such a powerful song too about being included and stuff like that. Because it's kind of about people that are outcasts, trying to be, not feel more included with the others, and all that because they look different and all that. And I like that. I like the love story between two of the main characters. I'm forgetting their names, but there's a really cool song about how because the girl's black and the guy's white, and so they're looked down. Their relationships looked down by society, but and they sing this whole song about rewriting the stars or something like that. Like it's written the stars is how it has to be, and they're like, well, let's rewrite it. It's a really great song, really good duet in there as well. Even the opener, the Great Showman opener, about I think entertainment or something like that, is a really cool song. But yeah, there's I think a song in there that a girl sings that it's really amazing. I wish I had it in front of me. I would probably talk more about what's in it. I think the song about "Million Miles Away" or something like that, he sings in there. It's a really great song. And "Never Enough" is a really, really good song that the female sings. I think I forget her name now. I think she was in Mission Impossible, but really, really good song. Rebecca Ferguson, I think, was in it, and she sings that song, "Never Enough." Really, really good song. But yeah, The Great Showman, number 3 on my list. One I really need to get on Blu-ray. Every time I look at it on Amazon, it's always for like $30 though, so I haven't bought it yet, but I definitely want to get that one. Number 2 is actually another Hugh Jackman movie. Hugh Jackman back-to-back movies. Wish he'd do more musicals because he just nails it when he does musicals. And that is Les Miserables, or Les Miserables, or whatever you want to call it. Really classic story. I mean, it's a book adaptation, and they made movie adaptations, many movie adaptations. I can't talk today. And the movie itself is really, really good. I love the whole story of redemption. A guy who's coming out of prison, and he's having trouble, and he steals from this priest, but the priest lets him go when he gets caught and kind of gives him mercy and all this. And then he finds kind of converts himself to a Christian and uses the money to become a good person and to help others. And so it's a really cool redemption story throughout. And then there's other, of course, stuff going on. But yeah, it's another one where it seems like it's more music than lyrics, but the music is just phenomenal. Some of the best music. I remember watching this theater and just being blown away. Anne Hathaway won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, very deserving. She gives one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. I Dream a Dream is a great song. I thought she gave a really powerful, emotional performance that makes me cry every time I watch it. The way she sings that song. You get the soliloquy, I think, Jean Valjean's soliloquy. It's really great. Really showcases how good of an actor Hugh Jackman is, who got nominated for Best Actor. Again, for good reason. He was so good in this movie. Wish he would have won Best Actor. He was so good. And everything seemed kind of raw and powerful. Instead of doing it in the studio, they recorded them at the time, singing it on stage. And so it's not as pretty as you would have in the studio, or not as polished. But I kind of liked it because you got more of the emotion, raw emotion out of the characters. They were criticized because of that, but I thought it was really good. I even like Russell Crowe. I think I was still pretty good here. even though he's not the great singer, Javert, his character, I thought he did a good job there. Um, yeah, what can I say? It's the first time I ever saw, whoa, what's his name? Let's see if I can find Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne. First time I saw him in the movie, I thought he was really good. He went on to win an Oscar soon after this. I thought he gave a really great performance as well. Empty Chairs and Empty Tables, amazing song. You hear the people sing the song of, I forget the name of that song, but that's such a great song that gets sung over and over. And at the very end, the ending is so great. I love the ending. I won't give it away, but it's just one of those the song they're singing and it builds up and gets louder and louder. And the way they show all the characters at the end, it's just like, oh my gosh, like you just saw these characters and now you see them again. You're like, oh man, there they are, all these characters I love. And it makes you feel happy at the end. It definitely gives you a very happy ending, which I personally always really enjoy. Not forgetting, there's a great musical where everybody sings together. One Day More. So great how they interlude everybody singing all at once. Great. But yeah, very emotionally powerful, really great musical. Les Miserables. All right, number one favorite movie. If you know this is my favorite movie of all time. So obviously it's my number one favorite musical. And my parents love this movie. They watched it all the time. Grew up watching this. Always really liked it. When I got older, loved it. And that was Fiddler on the Roof from 1971, I believe. Yeah, somewhere 72, 71, yeah, 1971. Yeah, I don't think people talk about this movie enough. Story of this Jewish milkman named Tevye, and he has his wife and he has three older daughters that are all getting to marriaging age, and he has to marry them off, but they don't want to marry the guy that he wants them to marry. So does this whole thing of, does he break tradition, Jewish tradition, and let them pick their own husbands, or Jewish tradition is that he picks the husband? And so he wrestles with this, how much can you bend tradition and keep his daughters happy? Really great music, of course. If I Were a Rich Man, probably the most famous song off here. Really great. Tradition at the beginning is amazing. Matchmaker, really good. I love Miracles. Miracles is really kind of beautiful romantic song in a sense. Sunrise Sunset, very beautiful song. Do You Love Me? Great. I mean, lots of great songs. The performance, Topol, who just died this last year, he was Tevye. I mean, no one's done better Tevye than him. He was that character, and he's so great because you see the emotions in him. He's also funny at times. This movie is one of those movies that the music is, of course, great, but the violin, especially because it's a fiddler, so there's a lot of violin in here. It's really good. It makes you. There's this whole scene with his daughter there's two scenes actually with two different daughters that makes me cry every time I watch the movie. It's very emotional, powerful, between father and daughter type moments, and hard decisions to be made. So, I mean, it's a movie that makes me cry. It makes me laugh. There's a lot of funny dialogue in here. Lots of great characters here. It makes you mad because there's anti-Semitism in this movie. So you get mad at those moments. Makes you sad. I mean, it gives you all these different emotions. It's an emotion roller coaster movie to me, and I love that about it. It makes me feel all the different emotions that get me really invested into the movie. And it's just a really great story. It's an absolutely great story. Great performances. Great music. Number one, Fiddler on the Roof. All right, give you some honorable mentions that didn't make into my list here, but I really enjoy. One is Sweeney Todd. I think it's a really good. It's not a happy musical, that's why it's not my top 10, but the music is great. Johnny Depp is great in the lead, and Helen Bonham Carter. Also, Cyrano came out a year ago or so with what's his name? The little person actor, I forget his name now. He is absolutely great in the role, and the music's actually really good. I have that one on Blu-ray actually. Annie, I think, is a really good one. Of course, Sun will come out tomorrow, but there's a lot of really good music in that, and that's another one I'd like to get sometime. The Music Man's an older musical from the 60s, I believe, but it's a real fun one. Yeah, Can't say much more, but it's a real fun musical. Mary Poppins, barely missed out on my list. You know, big fan. It was one of my biggest childhood movies. Just could not quite get in the top 10, but probably be my number 11. I really wanted to get in there, but Sound of Music beat it out at the very end. Obviously, another iconic. Both are Julie Andrews movies. Both iconic Julie Andrews movies. She's one of the greats. And then Hamilton, I think, is actually a really good musical. I've watched on. There's not a movie though. It's a kind of musical play that you can watch on Disney Plus. But if they made it into a movie, man, that'd be a great movie. But the one they have on Disney Plus, really good music in there. And also, I love that they talk about history. As a history person myself, I love history. So I love all the historical context of it. Music's actually really, really great. So I put that in my honorable mentions anyways. But yeah, so that's what I got. Please comment, what is your favorite musicals? What do you think about my top 10? What's your favorite out of there? Love to read any comments. Appreciate all that. And just thank you to anybody who watched this video. Thank you for liking it. And just thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you. And hope you